good day. Today we're with IMN Amsterdam, Netherlands, and we're interviewing a doctor who is driving in his car, but of course keeping his eyes on the road. My name is Annemarie Koppenaal, and I'm with IMN Amsterdam, and we're happy to present today Dr. Michael Jordan from Germany. He's a professor in urology, and he's also an entrepreneur who has really built up his business over these past years. Dr. Jordan, welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Annemarie. I'm happy to be with you and with the people from Holland and try to put some value in this community, and happy to be here.
Thank you, Michael. So I was saying he has built up his business over the past years, and that sounds a bit, to some people maybe, that sounds a bit awkward for a doctor, because you are a medical doctor in urology, but next to that, you have been building something that is quite exceptional. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm glad to talk to you about my child, of course. So everything started back in 1999. Where my practice in Munich was the first certified center of and teaching center of the German Society for Incontinence, and I was authority in the South Germany and South Europe for incontinence. People coming from all over Europe to see me because I was specialized in this field. And everything that was in the conservative therapy of the pelvic floor was gymnastics, Kegel, electrostimulation, biofeedback that was done with some probes that were introduced intravaginally or intrarectally. The fact is, the people are lazy dogs and they do not work out. So I was very frustrated in my career because everything that was conservatory was done by the patient only maybe 5%, which is actually nothing. And the insurance would pay for that, and the people were frustrating because they could never do the real work. And the real work meaning putting a probe inside of your body twice a day, 20 minutes for at least 6 months. This was what the insurance was paying. So, someday in '99, in January, I had a woman about 60 that needed this conservative treatment because she was not that far to get surgery. And I offered that electrostimulation, and she looked me after that in my eyes and said, well, are you crazy, doc? What do you mean I'm crazy? She said, do you think in my age I would put that probe inside of me twice a day, 20 minutes for 6 months? I said, well, this is what exists on the market, and this is what you need to do, and this is at the moment the best thing that you can do for yourself. She said, what do you know about it?
And so this is all, Dr. Jordan, to cure or as best cure incontinence at that time?
That was what existed on the market, what exists also today. And I said, well, I'm the specialist, I'm doing that since a few years. And she said, well, did you put a probe inside yourself? I said, no, I did not. And then she said, well, then you know nothing about it. And she turned around and left my office.
Yeah.
And in order to know me better, Dr. Jordan was born curious and will die a student. I said to myself, well, this lady is right. So the moment she left the practice, I closed the door, took my pants off, and I tried electrostimulation. Something that I will never do again, because putting it really want to do. And I understood what challenge it is for the patients when I just give a system away and they need to do the work twice a day, 20 minutes, and that for 6 months. And it was clear to me why only less than 5% of the patients So a couple of months later, I went to the USA. It was the biggest urological congress in the world at that time, over 17,000 urologists. And I do not go in the sessions because I can still have the CDs and listen to that after that. But I will always go in the exhibition to meet the industry, to see what's new, to see how I can eventually get something to be the number one in what I'm doing. I always did that, and in that particular year, there was a small group with two wooden chairs like IKEA, looking like nothing, and people staying in the row, 30 meters, 3 rows, waiting in line. So, what the heck is this? I stood in line for over 2 hours. I came to that chair. I said, what is this? The answer was, this is the newest treatment for incontinence in women. You know, a bit of arrogance when you're the authority, number one, doctor, not educated in business and whatever. I said, well, what do you mean? This is the new technology. Just sit fully dressed in the chair, and the chair will do the work. Come on, I said, well, don't bullshit me. So sit down. So I sat down in that chair for maybe a minute, and that minute changed my life. What I felt, pelvic floor contracting, being fully trapped, after I had the feeling of that rope inside of me, I said, well, this is the future. So how much is this? The answer was about 43,000 US dollars, 99. Look, the dollar was 268 at that point. Very expensive. I don't have the money. Shit. I get out of the row. I called a friend of mine who has a leasing company in Munich. I called and said, well, look, I have a system, 43,000 US. I need a leasing rate, the smallest, the no down payment, the longest time, the longest rent payment. I just need to buy this device. He called me a few hours later, said about 2,400 German marks. 2,000, that's a lot of money. I learned at that moment, and
Michael, stop 1 second. We had a real bad connection.
So I stood in line and I called my friend in Germany to ask for a leasing rate, no down payment, the longest time ever, the longest rate payment, so that I have a small rate, a monthly rate. And as I said, my strength is connecting the dots. So acupuncture was 100 German marks a session for 20 minutes. I thought that I could do that also with a chair because it's 20-minute session, and everything in medicine that is about 20 to 30 minutes costs about 100 German marks, and now about 50 euros. Mm-hmm. So I reckon to myself, well, 20 sessions, 100 mark is 2,000, 2,300. I just need a little more than one patient a month to cover my investment. And I did that. I negotiated my price. Of course, I get a rate that was less than 2,300, almost 2,000, because I negotiated for the 43,000 to 47. I brought the system to Germany. I started offering that instead of the electrostimulation. And you know what? 100% of my patients wanted the chair. Wow. So I started doing over 2,000% return of investment a month. One patient covered that. 2 months later, I had to buy a second device, no appointment.
That is amazing.
After another 2 months, is there anybody selling the device here? And the answer that changed my business life was Dr. Jordan. You're the first doctor outside the United States who owns one. And that telephone call, and this means entrepreneurship that I had in my mind. Take the opportunity, take the risk, because if you take the risk out, you take the opportunity out. So I asked them, can I have the distribution rights for Germany and Romania? Sign the contract, why not? We're looking for partners. So let's send me the agreement. I ran to my lawyer. I started my first business, not as a medical doctor, as a businessman, and I was the first distributor outside United States. To make the story short, I started selling devices all over Europe. I sold systems on my own in 28 countries. Now I'm selling that in 60 countries. And back in 2008, I asked for the right to sell exclusively in Europe, Middle East, and Asia, and to manufacture. I paid a seven-figure sum and got the rights for that in 2008. And in 2009, I brought all the assets out of the company, and in 2009, I own it. So this is the story of this chair, and I'm very happy to say that on Saturday, I just took possession of systems that were already sold before I met Kenya, and it will deliver my first 3 systems to Kenya this week or next week. So this is where we are today.
Perfect. And just for the people who don't know what this chair looks like, because this, as you said, when you saw it first at the fair in '99, it looked like a very simple IKEA chair. Now I've seen a picture of it, and here he's speaking about it, and now it looks like a sofa chair. So it looks like a comfortable chair. And instead, for your patients who are looking at incontinence and who actually had formerly this choice of sticking this probe inside their bodies for 6 months, twice a day, or going into surgery with, of course, all the risks of the anesthesia and the recovery, and you don't know how the recovery is going to go. And so now you're telling us that there's this third option that you've been testing out and using with your patients for over 10 years here in Europe.
20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
In Europe.
I treated not only in Europe. The chair is now in 60 countries. And I developed the treatment protocols for that, and I treated personally over 5,000 of these people. There are over 145 published papers on the technology, on the chair. So this is not something new, but the people are resistant to that because this was the real competition for some surgeries.
There you go.
And the whole urological and medical societies, they want something that is invasive and that will make more money. And the chair was the real competition to procedures like the TVT, transvaginal tape trans, TOT, and the former American company sued the AUA and the AMA because they sabotaged them to get the CPT codes to get reimbursed in America. And that's why it was actually something like you treated cancer now with some different, with natural methods, and the people that do that in America, they just disappear. And this was actually the competition for something that the big pharmacy and the big companies didn't want to have. And because they were sued, they lost. And that's where I saw the opportunity to ask for acquiring the technology because I knew they don't make money. And back in 2009, I didn't have anybody. I used the technology on my own in 28 countries. And as I said, initially it was one indication, incontinence in women. I have now treatment protocols for over 14 different indications, like incontinence in men, incontinence after radical prostatectomy, chronic prostatitis, and pelvic pain. I am most probably the urologist that does the smallest amount of biopsies in the prostate, because if I have a patient with a PSA increase and with a PSA coefficient over 20, and I put them 4 weeks in the chair, over 90% of them will get the PSA back to normal, so that I spare them the risk of a cancer. I spare them the risk of a biopsy, take them the fear away of cancer. And I have a lot of testimonials, video testimonials, with people just being happy, not getting biopsies. And this is actually at the moment over 80% of what I'm doing.
Yes.
But you also do vaginal tightening and orgasmic capacity and erectile dysfunction, both in men and women, hemorrhoids, pelvic pain. People say, well, it's too good to be true. No, because that actually, the system is not doing something in the pelvic floor. This is what people do not understand, not even now after 20 years, because I didn't have money enough to do the studies for that. But this is the reprogramming of the brain. The only thing that the system does is neurodepolarization. The rest is just neurostimulation, reprogramming the brain. And that's why the effects also are maintained for a much longer period of time. So if you do electrostimulation twice a day, 20 minutes for 6 months, and you stop, you'll be back where you started in 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Weeks.
Yes.
So you actually have to do it all the time. But if you do the chair, instead of 6 weeks, sometimes you have results that are maintained up to almost 3 years, doing nothing else. I don't do that exactly like that, but there are a lot of patients who do the 20 sessions, don't come after 1 year, 1.5, 2 years, say, well, doctor, it was so good, can I have another round?
Yes.
So this is what the value is, and the fact is that the smallest age I had a patient on was 3 years old, and my oldest patient was 103.
103. Yes.
Yes.
Wow. That's a wide range.
Okay. The addressability is absolutely fantastic. I don't have maybe less than 0.001% drops from the therapy. The commitment is 100%. Come twice a week, 20 minutes, sit fully dressed in the chair, do their handies or looking at, they come. And what the value is, dysfunction, sexual problems. These are taboo themes. People don't talk about that.
Michael.
People, yes, I'm here.
I've lost your visual.
I'm
yes.
Here back. Somebody called, I declined. So
we're here.
The problem is that these indications are taboo themes. People don't talk freely about this.
No. And now we have the visual and no sound. Okay, there we go.
So I am very happy what happened in the past 20 years, treating over 5,000 patients, because almost no drops, and the compliance is almost 100%. So actually, I can say 100%. If I'm offering the alternative to the chair, people will pick up the chair actually 100% of the time. Nobody wants to do something else. The good thing is for you at in Holland is that I have a partner in Holland, and the first spa with my device started yesterday.
Wow.
And people can contact you. I will send you the link to my partner there.
Yeah, we will put it at the end of this video.
Okay, where the chair is, so that they can experience that, because that's a wow effect from the beginning. And people can understand what value it can bring to them or their family or their dear ones, because this is the future. What I know now in 20 years, over 5,000 patients, I feel and I know that what the EXMI is today is what the iPod was when Steve Jobs introduced that. People need it. They don't even know they need it. but I have solutions for them, many solutions. This is only one of the devices. It will come a table. It will be a wheelchair that will have the devices inside. It will be hospital beds. It will be a lot of other stuff, a free head. The sports rehabilitation will be different. It will help professional athletes go back into the game 2 or 3 times quicker than anything else. People can build businesses with my technologies. There are a lot of people who said, where do I start? How can I start? I tell you where to start, because I will help you. It's what I'm doing. And to know something else about me, it's 20 years I have the company and I'm distributing chairs. In 20 years, I never paid myself a salary. No one time. I reinvested all the money to grow the company. It's not about the money. It's about the legacy and putting something out that will change the world. People were laughing at me, the Professor Jordan with a chair on his back in the exhibition and stuff like that. I don't care what other people say, what other people think. It's not my business.
No.
My business is to see that my vision will be there, and the medical vision is eventually to see a wheelchair patient walk again, and see patients that don't have solutions getting to the chair and finding that they have solutions. And my goal is to give solutions to people. We are the PPS. The PPS means professional problem solvers.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. So,
and so really what you are saying is it's really, really enhancing the quality of life for many people in many different ways, without invasive surgery or without invasive probes inside their body, but really to give them a quality of treatment and a quality of life that, as you were saying, they didn't know they need this, but once they start using it, they will definitely know they want this.
Yes. What I also want to mention, I'm on LinkedIn connected with over 14,000 people. A very lot of them are Becken physiotherapeuten from Holland. I don't know how many Becken physiotherapeuten from Holland exist in this small country, but it's hundreds, I don't know, hundreds of them. Every single one of them needs the chair. This is a cash flow machine for them, and that will double, triple, quadruple their businesses, because they put the patient in the chair, then they can do something else. The chair will do the work. The chair will make them the money also, but they will give value. They will increase their values by using this technology. So
those are really, yeah. So those are also really the persons who could be very interested in this chair, and for whom this chair could be super interested. I am sure, as you promised us.
Wellness centers, fitness centers, wellness centers. There are wellness centers, fitness centers for women. So wellnesses. Who goes into a wellness? People at a certain age that have certain problems, but also have the money to pay for them.
Yes.
These businesses already have the customers. They will add some extra value to their customers. Say, look, we're doing your face. You already have the trust. They trust their face, the skin, the whatever they do in the spas and massages and face and lifting and creams and whatever they do. If you talk to women, how about doing something for your pelvic floor?
Yes.
You don't have to do anything. You just sit there. Or they do the nails
while you're in the chair.
Yes. You do the hair while they're in the chair. So you can combine 2 or 3 businesses together and get vertical and get horizontal and help a lot of people get the value of that, because they need it.
Yes.
They just don't need these things exist. And this is where I want to make the point.
Yes.
This technology is for everyone. Everyone can get a value out of that. So get to know it, and I will help anybody that wants to be involved with me.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, because I've spoken to you before, and again I speak to you now, and I hear your story, and the enthusiasm and the knowing which you tell it, and with which you are working to get this spread over the world. And as you said, it's the moment where at, we're not at the beginning of something, because it began 20 years ago for you, but this is the moment where it's really ready to spread, and where you can really offer value to the people, and also to entrepreneurs who want to help you spread these devices for so many people, for really enhancing their quality of life. I know for sure that we are going to put your data and how people can contact both you and Vasca in the Netherlands to contact and to see what other business possibilities there are and what other health possibilities there are. For this moment, I really want to thank you for bringing this out to the world, and to this video line of IMN Amsterdam. If anyone who is watching wants to be in touch with Mr. Michael Jordan, you'll get the data just after. If you want to know more about IMN Amsterdam, which is a club of entrepreneurs and of masterminders are thinking together to really grow things, grow businesses, but also grow giving value to the world, definitely contact us at IMN Amsterdam. You can contact us by, of course, imnamsterdam.nl or .com. My name is Annemarie Koppenaal, and I really want to thank for this interview and a lot of information and wisdom today from Mr. Michael Jordan. Thank you so much for being with us.
I thank you for inviting me for the interview, and I wish you all a very beautiful and healthy week.
Thank you so much. Bye, and we hope, of course, to see you on our next video. Thank you so much.